interview 20, take one, marker.
And I love it. You're like, I'm ready. And we might just tell you, like, if you start moving around too much, we're like, just keep it the same plane. But be comfortable.
No problem. I am comfortable.
Ellie, you loving it?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm set.
So, Huntington.
Yes.
As I'm saying your name, what is your name, and what do you currently do for work?
Okay, so Huntington comes...
So, sorry. Are you explaining where Huntington comes from? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was interrupting. Go ahead.
So Huntington comes from, it's like wealthy estates. I looked it up because I was like, what is my name? And I'm like, wealthy estates? That doesn't make any sense. But my mom and dad met at Huntington Beach and, had me. And so I was like, okay, so that's my name, Huntington. I was named after the beach. So that's cool. But what do I do for work? I'm a cook, I'm like Sanji from One Piece. I just literally make, sushi and ramen, and I cook up Japanese delicacy, whatever, as you much may. It's fun, but boring, because I love to make music, so I want to do that.
What kind of music do you make?
Anything. Progressive, experimental, alternative rock, but I can do hip-hop, rap, reggae, ska, anything, because, I play guitar, drums, bass, piano. I can sing, but I'm not the best singer, like I'm going to have to do that whole T-Pain, auto-tune stuff, but, it's, like, or like do low things like Joy Division or the Smiths, oh, where's the night, like that kind of stuff, but, yeah, so, yeah. Huntington Beach. That's my name is Huntington. Comes from the beach, and I am a cook at a ramen spot. That is the quick answer.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were telling me the time you met David. I think one of you was telling the other person to be quiet or something like that. Can you tell me about this story?
Okay, yeah. So I was having a conversation about like a specific point in the Bible, and I was trying to tell this person, this guy named Brian. I was like, hey man, like it's it's about love and it's about kindness and caringness, and then this guy out of left field tells me about the gnarling and gnashing of the hell side of the Bible, and I'm like, okay, you're going with the fear of the God aspect. I get that. I know the fear part of God, but this guy was in it to win it with the gnarling and the gnashing, and I'm like, no, thank you, man. And I raised my voice. I was like, I was like, let me counter into it, and then David comes out of right field, and he's like, can you both shut the fuck, or sorry, can you both shut up? And I was baffled, because he just directed it towards me, he just, out of nowhere comes out, can you just shut up? And I'm like, okay, like, because I wanted him to shut up. So, in actual retrospective, thank David, because hey, I didn't want to talk to this guy in the first place. I was trying to make a point, and the point would never get made. It's like it's a moot point. So
Maybe he was. You were more approachable than the other guy. So he's
oh,
like, you know what?
100%. That other guy was not approachable at all. He, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. A stubborn mule will not drink from the watering hole.
Love it. So, okay, tell me what you do with Feed My Poor. How you're involved.
Oh, Feed My Poor program. So the Feed My Poor program is from Church of the Good Shepherd. It's a fantastic program. It started during the pandemic, at least I believe. And me and my friend David Gonzalez have been volunteering our time to feed and make sure that they're hydrated, the needy around, I'm talking about the homeless, around the greater Los Angeles area. And it's been great because we've been actually able to connect with them. We've been able to give them resources that they might have not had. Some have passed away, and it has been a tear on both of us. But through this, we've been able to actually make sure that some of these people are alive and well, and making sure that their next day is okay, because if I'm not saying if we're not there, because here's the thing: I was homeless, and so I had people come to me and help me, and if they didn't help me, I might have been tossed in the back burner, and that would have been bad. So, evidently, I do believe that this program allows and functions in a way where it can benefit everything, benefit the world, benefit people that, yes, some are mentally ill, some are addicted, some have problems, but some are just there because of coincidence. And that happens a lot. It
Yeah,
happens a lot.
can you tell me what led to you being homeless for a while?
Oh, yes, 100%. I smile because, I would rather smile than cry. Back when I was 21, I'm 29 now, 8 years ago. Let's rewind. Let's Thanos snap. My mom passed away. She died. But before she died, she was going to school to become a paralegal because she realized the way in America is, get in the law, go through that. She fell, on a very steep hill, damaged her spinal column, C2 through C4 vertebrae, and had continual pain every day of her life. About every 20 to 40 seconds, there's a sharp jolting kick in the back. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And so through her pain, she made some impulsive decisions. She sold the house that her grandmother gave her because I was born. Because I was born, her grandmother gave her a house in West Covina and said, hey, so for your family. She sold that house. She gave me and my brother both $5,000 and said, do with it as you please. I squandered it. My brother bought a lemon of a car, and got, T-boned. Thank God he's still alive. But, I went through all of that, and my brother just kind of like ran away to his friend's house. His friend accepted him. He was able to finish his high school. He got his high school diploma. I got my high school diploma, but through a continuation school because my mom just left and I felt kicked out. And so I was couch hopping. Years couch hopping. I was going everywhere, man. I didn't feel like there was a sense of a home. I had some girlfriends that accepted me, but and there was one girlfriend that actually really helped out, but I had no one, that my dad wasn't there. He was doing his own thing, addiction. But through those things, I found like shelters, places where I could find, help. But there was about 6 months where I wanted to be homeless, where I was just hanging out, smoking, drinking, not caring about any responsibility or any, productivity that I can produce in this world. Sorry.
When did your mom get? How old were you when your mom got injured?
She was 20. I was 20. Yeah, and then she died when I was 20. So it took about a year for her to just, what she did is she pulled a Heath Ledger death. I don't know if you know this, but she accidentally killed herself. She's an alcoholic, so she was drinking. She was already out, drunk, and then she took antidepressants because she was depressed, and then she wanted to go to sleep because she couldn't sleep. Sleeping pills. Those three. Instant death. Yeah. No, you don't have to be sorry. I lived with it. We all have to live with death until we die. It's funny.
Yeah. So you're in your early 20s.
Yeah.
Your mom passes away. Your dad's not really in the picture.
Yeah. Well, addiction. He's doing other things. He's I never really had a stable father figure. I mean, he was there to help me out with my like hobbies and my skills. Like he was always there to like he gave me my first PA system to sing. You know, he gave me my first drum set. You know, my mom gave me my first guitar. You know, they were able to understand that I love music and that I can create music, and I love that. You know.
That's awesome. So, what kind of like frame of mind were you in when all this is going on? I mean, the house is being sold. Your mom passes away. You only have a little bit of money. You know, your dad's like, what were you going through?
Okay.
Yeah.
So initially, you know how like when like it's like a shell shock, people like it's like the adrenaline. You don't feel anything right away. You don't. Like like right when I heard that my mom passed away and I had nothing, um, like when I was 5 years old, like my mom and dad divorced. You know, they separated, and so I went through this whole thing, this whole like internal battle where it's like it does like it makes no sense that the two people that came together to make me are now separated. Like life is meaningless now because it's like like how can that happen? Like like my world was torn, and so like and then I realized death is inevitable. This is at 5 years old. Like I'm sleepless nights just thinking about this, crying like I'm gonna die, and then I realized at one point it's like wait a minute. Yes, life is meaningless until you yourself give it meaning. Like, so I knew at that point, at 5 years old, I was going to be okay until I die, of course, But, like, just give yourself meaning. Give yourself a drive to do what you're going to do. And unfortunately, my parents couldn't continue. That's acceptable. I understand that through my maturity, but what was I thinking during all of that? I was thinking everything's going to be okay because I'm not going to die at this moment. I'm not a fragile human being. I am strong. I can do this. I'm a man. Even if I was a woman, I'm a woman. I can do this. Even if I was non-binary, even if I was trans, anything, I'm a human. Humans can do a lot. And I'm not going to crumble up just because I'm homeless. I'm not going to shut away because I feel like I can't do anything because I can do anything. It's not because of my white skin or blue eyes. It's because I'm a human.
Love that. That's all really good. I also just want to kind of like summarize some of the bullet points. Can you just walk me through the major, like very briefly, the major timelines? Like
Brief.
At 5, my parents got divorced. Like I think you didn't finish high school right away.
Okay.
Some of those difficulties.
Okay. Brief points. Okay, so at 5 years old, my parents got divorced, and I went through a kind of like an existential crisis at that time, and I realized that life is meaningless. But then I put together the points where, you know, uh, life. My apologies. I'm, going through stuff, but I realized that life. Sorry, I'm forgetting my own quote.
No, it's so good. I don't need. You don't worry about the quote as much.
Yeah, no. I like normal flow, not like these things.
Sure,
yeah, normal flow is way better, man.
Okay, cool. No, I think we're good. Let me just. Can you tell me?
Can't do that.
What? How long were you homeless? And
yeah.
No. Tell me. Okay, how long were you homeless? And tell me, like the steps of getting out of being homeless.
Ooh, how long was I homeless? Okay, so 21. I'm 21, right? That's 8 years ago. I'm 29 right now. So 8 years ago, homeless, complete couch hopping, sleeping underneath bleachers in a park, sleeping in a car, finding bystanders' cars, opening the door, sleeping in there, sleeping in random people's RVs. I did that. I slept underneath people's vehicles. Like it was crazy, man. Like, just to find a place of warmth. Because I slept on a bleacher once, and I woke up 20 minutes later freezing because I was on metal. So how long was I homeless? I was homeless for on and off about 6 to 7 years, because I've had some months and years of being in an apartment or a house. Um, I was living with my dad and my brother for about a year, but that didn't work because me and my father really cannot live together because, I mean, let's be honest, who can really live with their family that long enough? We can visit. We got the holidays for family. So, yeah, that. And then I lived with a girlfriend, which is really, a blessing. But unfortunately, it wasn't the right partner. I'm a lover, you know. I wish to say I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I am both because you got to fight for what you love, you know. But then, I lived by myself for 2 times, That was fun. That was the best time, But then, fell in hardships. But, yeah, homelessness. That's bad. Um, it was about, yeah, 7 years of homelessness. Yeah.
What were
Fix your shirt real quick. It was just the couch was sucking it up.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
What, who were the people who helped you? Whether it was strangers.
Oh,
or
I love this.
friends?
Okay. So there's a lot of people that helped me when I was homeless. So the first time that I experienced homelessness, I had a lot of friends that came to me, really close friends. David Valenzuela was the first one that accepted me. He's got a name that is called Skid. He's like a BMX biker that I would always, bike with my brother. And it's funny. I know so many Davids, and the last person I'm gonna mention is David Gonzalez, but he taught me so many.
Home for playing anything? Unless I'm over.
No.
Air conditioning.
It's
Okay.
the fridge.
David Gonzalez, he taught me,
Yeah, yeah. So no, he taught me all these little bike tricks. Like I can ride a bike with no handlebars. That's a legit statement. I can ride a bike backwards. I can ride a bike with me putting my foot on the seat, and I can ride a bike no handlebars on the pegs in the back. It's crazy, man, and it's because he taught me all that stuff. And he also accepted me in his house. But because of circumstances, me being myself, and just people wanting to not have their comfort level diminished, you have to go. You have to move on. So I moved on. My bassist at the time, Marco, accepted me in, and I was able to live with him in his little tiny little, like, it was like, they call it a sala. It's kind of like a living room. But the side sala. I don't know what you would say a side sala is. Side salad maybe. But yeah, so pretty much I lived there for a while, but then you got to move on. Then I was living in a Ford Bronco, not OJ's Ford Bronco, but I was living in a Ford Bronco for like 7 months, man. Like just sleeping in a Ford Bronco, and then I lived in a garage for 4 months, and then I lived at a park for about 6 weeks, and then after those 6 weeks, that month and a half of living in a park, being cold, I experienced some amazing humanity. You told me who helped me. There was this little old woman. I still remember her to this day. I know where she lives because I know her car, because she told me what her car is. I know her dog, And I saw her dog in her front lawn. She comes by. She gives me $20, food, and she does this multiple times, man. And I'm like, I'm flabbergasted. I'm taken back. And then this man on the corner house of this where I'm, sleeping, he gives me a sleeping bag. He's like, hey, I noticed you're sleeping, and you know, any means to sleep, so he gives me a sleeping bag. I'm like, cool, thank you, that's fantastic.
What is it about other people's kindness towards you that makes you emotional?
Because it's exactly what I would do. At that moment, I see myself in that person, and I'm finally happy. I'm finally someone came to me when I was 5 years old and cracked a joke. Finally, someone hugged me when no one would, man. Like, they did it. Thank you. Because I had to be that guy to make someone else laugh. It's amazing. That's why I do this. That's why I want to make sure these people don't die. That's why I want to make sure these people don't cry like how I'm crying. And that's why I want to make sure these people laugh and love and live and have a happy life. People should have fun.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. I could tell.
No problem.
Because,
No problem.
you were mic'd up when we were passing out food. And just the brightness, the approachability you had, and also there was no hint of talking down to anyone.
Why would you need to?
Yeah, tell me about that.
Talking down, okay, so there's a reason why I wanted you to pick me up from where I live. So I live in a shared living house, the duplex. There's a front house, there's a back house. 14 some odd people live here, 14 some odd people. So about 20 to 40 people live here. I have 2 roommates. They're both very old. One of them is prejudice and recently threw away my belongings and recently called the cops on me because I woke him up in the middle of the night. Recently had a knife on me. Recently all this stuff. And recently I've been mugged. I've been robbed. The past 6 months, I've probably been robbed 4 or 5 times. I don't have a wallet on me. I don't have my original backpack on me. I don't have my GR card, my social security card, my driver's license, my Medi-Cal card. I don't have anything on me. I have a check. How am I supposed to cash that? Oh, I work. Thank God.
How... This is all with having a place
Yes.
to sleep and having a job.
Yeah.
I can't imagine... that sounds very difficult,
Yeah.
but yet this is with a job. This is with a... How do you... you were experienced it. How do you think these people on the street are experiencing it
Oh,
now?
it's terror because here's the thing. First off, there. Okay, so some people say white privilege because of the skin, right? White privilege. That's true. Cops don't see me. I'm invisible to the police. That's a fact. We can, cops look at minorities. Factual. I don't care what you say. It's fact. It's objective. But with what I'm going through and what they're going through is completely different because sometimes they don't care to bring themselves up. They have an addiction towards any type of drug or way of life. They don't want to go with the man. But they also want to get out of there. Some of them are wanting to, please, help me. I've seen them. They're in Skid Row right now, in the lines, waiting for food. No drug-addicted person is going to wait in line for food. They're going to wait in line for drugs. They want food. They want help. I was in line for those things. The Midnight Mission. I lived in a transitional housing. It was a tea house. I lived in 3408 Broadway shelter. I've lived in 2 shelters. The way they experience homelessness is intense. It's like creating your own country in a country. That's what they've done.
You talked about food. What were you doing for food when you were homeless?
Okay, so when I was homeless, there was multiple ways where I got food. Before I found out about food stamps, GR, the Social Security government assisted SNAP, I was panhandling. I was panhandling completely. And I was panhandling for 3 things. Drugs, which is alcohol, marijuana, and cigarettes. 2, food. And 3, security. Just something that I can have, like a stash. Like I say, like it's funny. I even though I am impulsive, I save money just in case. And I try to forget about it. I try to forget about the money I save, so I don't spend it. So yeah, I had a little script that I would tell people. I'd be in front of Yogurtland. I'd be in front of Starbucks. I'd be standing. I wouldn't be standing outside of a freeway overpass or something like that. Like right when the cars come. No, I don't want to be in the sun. I'm gonna get skin cancer. So, I'd be in the shade. A person would come by, and this is word for word. This is what I would say. Excuse me. You wouldn't happen to have any extra change you could spare? Depending on whatever they'd said, this is my response. Thank you so much. God bless you. That's it.
Yeah. We were talking to someone else yesterday and talking with you today. I think there's this notion, and I think I have this notion. Oh, if someone's homeless, most, 99% of them aren't going to change. Oh, hello, Alexi.
Yeah, you should just unplug that.
I must have awakened it.
How the heck did you awaken Alexa? Awaken. Yeah.
It happens all the time.
You are a living testament that people really can be homeless and come out of it. Not only have you come out of it, but now you're giving back. And it sounds like you're giving back out of... You're not like, oh, I'm waiting until I'm in this great house and have my own, a great car, great job, and then I'll give back. You're like giving back with the little you have,
Let me tell you, Barnabas, I'm never going to have a big house, a great life, a big thing. I'm never going to have that. Because that's not my goal. That's not my goal. I don't want that. I just want family. I just want love. I just want music. That's all I want. I don't want a palace.
This has all been so good. I guess I'm looking at questions.
Sorry about the crying, by the way.
You never apologize for that. You're good. If you had to summarize, what is the hardest thing about being homeless? Obviously, there's the cold, the hunger, the insecurity.
Rain. And that's why people come to California. Rain. How many times does it rain? 14 times a year. Rain. No, I'm out. That's it. Mic drop, rain. Rain. That's it. Because do you know the worst time in my time of being homeless? It's not being robbed. It's not being mugged. It's not being punched in the face. It's not being just drenched in my own fucking sorrow. No. It's being woken up in a huge puddle and all of my belongings are just drenched and rain is just coming down.
Give you 20 to take to Mark.
If you had to pitch Eat My Poor to someone.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. Do you want to better the world? Do you want to make sure that people don't kill themselves and don't harm themselves and harm others? Well, there's a program called Feed My Poor that can actually acquire the assets to distribute them to the people who you decide that are unable to decide for themselves. Then we can build better.
Yeah. As someone who was homeless, I feel like, yeah, I see it's like I'm seeing the full picture in front of me because, just the idea that you were the type of person who David would be passing these out to, who people would be volunteering and giving sandwiches to.
People have given that to me. I have been given sandwiches.
Yeah,
And now I give sandwiches.
And now you're here doing an interview about how you give sandwiches.
It's not a it's not a rabbit's foot. It's not a mystery. It should be common knowledge that every human should do this. Every human should give back, should pay it forward. I mean, there was a movie called Pay It Forward.
Yeah. I think some people want to ignore the whole
Greed. There's 7 deadly sins. People are sometimes inherently evil. There are a lot. I mean, we have a justice system that is corrupt. So that's it. I mean, there's no way to go about it other than saying that some people will shine light on a dark situation and some people will just live in the dark.
That's a mic drop quote there. Is there anything else you want to add or feel like I haven't touched up? Oh, sorry, real quick. How would you describe David to someone else in your relationship with
David Gonzalez?
David Gonzalez.
David Martin Gonzalez. Well, first off, he's going to tell you he's Argentinian. That's the first thing he's going to say. Second thing he's going to say is that...
No, how would you describe him?
He's my best friend. I love him. He's been there for me. I've been there for him. There isn't another human being that I would vouch for to be on my team, on your team.
Just so I have his name in there, can you say, David is my best friend, David?
David is my best friend.
Oh, and lastly, tell me just what it's like being in the car, delivering the sandwiches. I got to see it firsthand, but...
Oh, okay, so...
You guys have a lot of fun. You went out for lunch after.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a chore, people. It's not. If you take one day, not even a whole day, 2 hours of a day of your time, and give food and water to people that need food and water, do you know how big of an impact that would make? Like, just think about it. Everybody in the world did that. Would we have world hunger? No. No, we wouldn't. We're sorry. I didn't know that would spit. But we're 2 individuals that do it. We started back in March of beginning of the pandemic. What was the beginning? March 2020. 2020? I don't think so. That wasn't the beginning of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's time flies. March 16th, 2020.
Well, I think we've been doing that. Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if everyone did this, man, it would be monumental. But we're only 2 people. 2 people can't... Well, I mean, 2 people can make a difference. I mean, look at Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy. Gosh, they were all assassinated. Maybe I shouldn't talk about all the people that were assassinated. But, Elon Musk. Well, he hasn't been assassinated yet. hopefully he doesn't. But other than that,
Premeditated in here. No, I'm joking.
I ain't gonna premeditate assassination. Premeditated assassination. No, but yeah, like if everyone could take some time out of their day to actually help their fellow human being, their fellow neighbor. I mean, like it's in the Bible, dude. Like, love thy neighbor. If someone's on your curb homeless, that's your neighbor. Love thy neighbor.
Love it. I'm good.
Great.
It's a cut.
Let's real quick. Did you cut already?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna tell set this camera real quick.
Solid.
Hey, did I do good or
That
bad?
was amazing.
That was
Fantastic.
amazing. That was awesome.